All right, before we get started, I know people have been asking about the 57, and I mentioned that I was going to do a walk around video of this bad boy coming up soon. And I was going to do that right now, but I was messing with it the other day. I don't know if you saw my little solo B-roll video. I'll put a link if you didn't watch that. But I was messing with the car a little bit, got her fired up, and I noticed we got a little issue with the tire here. I got it jacked up, but I let that tire get flat and it's knocked off the bead. And that shouldn't prevent me from doing a walk around of this bad boy. But I want to do it proper. I want to pick a nice day where I can fire it up, take it outside, let you walk around it really good, and we'll even go for a spin. So hang in there, be patient. We'll get to a 57 video real soon. But we're going to get back to work on the 55 today, so let's do it. Sunday afternoon in the Montana garage. I just got done playing with my welder. Now it's time to get to work on the 55 Chevy. So I think the next thing I'm going to do is take care of some stuff here on the inside of the car. I'll get a light in here later so we can see better, but I got these wires here that have been in the way forever. I've been talking about getting rid of them for the last year or so, so I might as well get in here and get all that ripped out of here. It's all pretty much garbage and going to have to be replaced, so I'll get that out of the way. I have new floor pan here. I've repaired the tunnel there, new floor pan there, new floor pan there. That was all, I don't know, I might have a little bit of video stuff if you go way back in the first few videos of me doing that, but it was kind of before I was making videos. But those are all bare metal. I did the mini tub, so there's some bare metal back there. So the bare metal for sure needs treated. I figure I might as well, being as I'm doing that, I'm just going to get in here and get everything cleaned up with, like, I'm not going to go crazy, but just like with the Scotch-Brite or a little bit of wire wheeling where I need to. We'll get everything cleaned up and scuffed a little bit and then put a little masking. Obviously you'll have to mask off the windows and the dash. And, you know, I might as well just do a little squirty of some epoxy primer in here as well, huh? I'm not sure what everybody else does, but like I say, I got to treat the bare metal. So might be going a little overboard doing it all, but I don't think it's going to be that much harder to just do it all and get it all epoxied, make sure it's all treated and taken care of. So yeah, I guess stick around and you'll see me doing that. Get these things out of the way. These are actually supposed to be for the 57. I gotta find a new way to mount the seats in here, and so we'll be doing that one of these days. But for now, we'll just throw them in the corner. Looks like the steering column's still hanging around in here. I'll be getting something new for that, so that's, I'm not sure why I had that in there, but throw it over here in the pile of parts. So I suppose another thing I can do is I have some random holes in the floor here. I mean, they're not totally random. These were, I had bucket seats in here, so these must be how I had the bucket seats mounted. I got two in the back here, nothing here because this, like I said, this pan has been replaced. But I didn't have a real fancy setup for those seats, and I'm probably going to try to go with some different seats anyway, so I think I might just weld these holes shut and then start from scratch. So that way if I'm getting different seats, I can, or a different way to mount them, I'll just re-drill some holes and they may end up in the same spot, but I think they're going to end up a little different. So might as well, before I prime everything, weld those shut. And then what's everybody doing with, I mean, obviously this is a new pan. It's got these little cutouts there. There's a big hole there. There's holes here. I assume those are like some sort of, you know, drain, low point drains in the pan, but then originally they were all seam sealed over, so you got the hole and then you seam seal over it. Should I just weld those shut? Like I said, I'm assuming there's some sort of drain, but I don't know if I should seam seal them, leave them open, or weld them shut. So maybe somebody out there that knows more than me can tell me what I should do there. All right, little update. I have scraped off the remaining bits of seam sealer that were over all these little drain holes or whatever they are. And I took the gauge cluster out and pulled out all this wiring. So that's most of the wiring harness. Still a few little odds and ends hanging in there. Most of this had actually been replaced back in the day, back when I was in high school. What was I doing? Took the dash all apart to paint it. And of course I still was driving it around, and 55 Chevy, so we had a metal dash, had a bunch of hot wires under there. And I did my best to get them all taped up, but I remember cruising around one Friday night, and I noticed all of a sudden smoke started rolling out from under my dash. I pulled into the cruise spot there in town, the gas station, and jumped out and disconnected the battery as fast as I could, but I melted a ton of the wiring under there. Luckily, I didn't actually start a fire. And then I replaced the harness, just the under dash harness, and then I promptly melted half of that down at some point. I can't remember what happened with that deal, but still I was always driving this thing while I was trying to work on it, and I shorted out some wire again and melted a bunch of new wires and just tried to kind of fix them as I could. But even though, like I said, even though at some point this was partially a new harness, it's pretty much garbage, and I'll be starting from scratch, I'm sure. All right, we got the seam sealer mostly scraped up. Pretty well scraped up, and I'm just going to do a little bit of wire wheeling on some of those spots just to get it cleaned up so the primer will stick, and then we'll start welding some holes in. Okay, we're at the point where we're going to weld in a few of these holes. Like I said, I had some bucket seats in here, and I'm probably going to go with different seats, and even if I don't, I need a little better way to mount them. So I'm going to fill the holes in that I had. I may end up re-drilling them, but I think they're going to be a little different. And then also there's like some factory holes that don't really do anything. I don't know, I think they have plugs for them. I mean, there's not even a body mount here, so I don't even know if I need this one. And that hole doesn't go anywhere. I looked on the 57, they're just holes in the floor. They don't go anywhere. Hole there they'll probably do, and then a couple back here. I'm just going to plug all those, or fill all those in. So these smaller ones, about that size, I can try to just fill with weld. Maybe that one. Once they get a little bigger, I like to try to put a piece of metal in there. So the method I use to do that is I make a little piece, weld it to a little stick of wire. I didn't have any, it's kind of a bigger rod than I usually use, but I couldn't find any wire. And then I just used the little grinding wheel to kind of cut it to fit. And then I'll get her, fits in there pretty good. Get her press fit in there, hold her flush, and then zappy with the welder. We'll get the welder and get set up. Alright, I've done some welding since I readjusted my welder, and I think I got my problem figured out from the issues I was having last time. So now we'll do some real world welding and see if it works out. So see how this goes here. not perfect, didn't disappear, but hey, there's no hole there anymore. So we'll make some more little pieces and go to town on some more holes. Well, it's a week later, but I'm back in the Montana garage to try to get back to work. I'm getting the inside of this dang car cleaned out. Let's see, we had some goodies show up in the mail today. Yeah, buddy, Calvert Racing. We'll talk about that stuff later. But for now, we got more work to do in here. We finished up welding and grinding all the holes I had to fill. And I've done a little bit of wire wheeling, but I want to get the mini tub areas, the sides, kind of the rear deck back there. I want to get all that cleaned up good enough to spray it. So we're going to do a little bit of scrubby with some Scotch pad, maybe some more wire wheel. Maybe we'll break out some old-fashioned sandpaper. I don't know. We'll hit it a few different ways. I just want to get this cleaned up good enough to, like I said before, squirt a little SPI epoxy on there when that shows up. So let's get back to work. I only had a little bit of time because in normal fashion, there's other stuff I got to do. Trey destroyed his U-joint on his square body the other day. It's been making some noise for a while, but he went out exploring in the woods the other day and came back with a little bit of a problem. So as soon as he gets back from fishing, I got to help him fix that. So we'll spend a little time scrubbing on the 55, and then we'll go out and play with the square body a bit. So stay tuned. I got distracted by new parts, but I got to get to work if I'm ever going to be able to actually put the parts, onto the car. So, all right, let's get to it. All right, well, I think I decided on these little tiny cutouts here, they were just seam sealed over by the factory. I was thinking about welding them up, but you know what I'm going to do if I weld them? I'm going to weld them and then I'm going to glob some seam sealer over them anyways. So if seam sealer was good enough from the factory, I'm going to say that's good enough for now. I am going to kind of pound them as closed as I can. These ones got kind of lifted up a bit when I was scraping and whatnot, but I'm just going to kind of pound them as close as I can, gob some seam sealer over there like the factory did, and call that good. I don't know. It worked for Chevy. I guess it'll work for me. And let's be honest, this car isn't going to see, it might get trapped in the rain or maybe out when it starts raining. I'm not cruising to town in the rain unless I get trapped out there in this thing. So it's probably always going to be inside and mostly dry. So that sounds like a good plan to me. Let me know if you think that's a good idea or not, but it's going to be too late. It's going to be done before you tell me, but let me know. I think we'll start by getting the old, what do we call it? The Mouse Sucker 3000 in here. Wonder what Derek Bierry's doing today. Anyways, I think we'll get the vacuum in here and suck up some of our crap from grinding and whatnot before, and then we'll make some more crap to suck up again later. I just got done hitting pretty much every surface I could with the DA sander and 80 grit. There's only so many flat spots or so many nooks and crannies and whatnot. There's only so much that can do. But I hit everywhere I could with that, and now I'll follow that with some wire wheel action to try to get more into like the nooks and crannies and whatnot. And then we'll grab some, brain fart. You know, some of the stuff. We'll grab some of this stuff. This stuff, you know, Scotch-Brite. I guess I can't think when the camera's rolling. So I got some Scotch-Brite pads, I got some little sanding pads, and we'll get more into the nooks and crannies with that. And again, I probably already said it, but I'm not trying to go crazy. I just want to get the surface rust off, get a little, you know, a little something for the new primer to bite into. And so we're just gonna spend a little more time, you know, getting into spots like this, getting these edges, you know, just trying to make it good enough as usual. And then hopefully pretty soon we'll spray a little epoxy in here and move on to something else. All right, I went till the battery died on the old cordless grinder to do the wire wheeling, and now we'll hit it with the stuff, you know, the Scotch-Brite, and then I got this little kind of medium grit sanding pad. Use those two items to kind of get into these little areas a little better, nothing real crazy. So we'll go around to everywhere that I got wire wheeled and do this while the battery's charging. Then we'll finish. I got wire wheeled over to that inner kind of quarter panel. I still got to do that door. And I've done up there already, but maybe we'll check that out a little more. And then it's just following it around with this and getting it all cleaned up. Well, I was just about to say, I think I got it pretty well cleaned up in here, or you know, all sanded and Scotch-Brited and whatnot, and all I have left really to do is get the old vacuum in here and suck all this crap back up. And then I was trying to decide, well, should I do like these little brackets or these little things that go up above the window? That one's got a little surface rust on it, and I was like, oh, I'll just hit them with the Scotch-Brite. I'm gonna have all the windows masked off, won't be that hard to just spray them. And then I realized, well, what about the underside of the ceiling there? It's got a bunch of surface rust on it, and then I looked up here and it's kind of, I mean, I'm sure it's all probably fine, but I generally like to do things the hard way, so it won't take that much longer, I guess, to rip all this mat. It's probably all asbestos or something. I'll get some sort of respirator on, rip all this mat out of here, and then probably pull these headliner bows down. And then I'll sand the underside of the roof and get some more crap in my lungs. And then we'll clean it up in here, and then we'll be ready to spray some paint or primer. But that's probably where I'm going to stop it for today. I don't know if I feel like attacking that mess. I was just going to clean up and call it a day, but maybe I won't even clean up. It's getting to be about dinner time. I think Trey needs help fixing his U-joint. So I'll take care of that, and we'll come back out here later. I'll probably end this video here though, so thanks for watching. Next time, we'll talk about some new parts I got, and I just left Dan with DD Speed Shop a message today. I'm coming up with a plan to get that 57 Chevy. So hopefully by the next video, we can talk about that as well and let you know exactly how I'm going to get it and when it's going to be here. So thanks for watching. Hit the little like button, subscribe, tell a friend. Subscribers have slowed down a bit lately, but if you keep telling friends and we get some more people and make this thing grow, we're going to give something cool away at 5,000, so don't forget that. And then DD Speed Shop 57 coming up soon.